Alright, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time, we, we didn't quite, we kind of finished our investigation for the time being, and now Edgeworth is saying everything's all wrapped up, and I don't think it really is. So, let's continue. Making a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well then, if you're prepared. So exactly where my deductions have led me. Good. I'm counting on you, Reggie. Leave it to me, Larry. First attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. But by lie, I know that there's still something you are keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you don't believe me no matter what I say, Reggie? Curse you, I should hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess every murder in the whole world, and then kill myself. And do everything in a mass confusion. You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. I only have one thing to say to you. If you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. Only ask that you do not lie to me. You cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of an insipid lie. I'll never forgive you. Edgy. Although, allow me to say, that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And I'll draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. And if you would please testify as what you did up on the roof tonight. Up on the rooftop. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came to the embassy. Then I took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, until my experience, I had some free time, so I wandered around. There's this but a chimney. A chimney like that was a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you to not lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Edgy, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. You're just gonna have to reason it out. The Conspiracy Committee to hurry up and to close this event's lie. Very attention to. For I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Oh. Larry. You weren't playing Santa at all, were you? You were trying to be a peepin' boy. That's what you were doing. Okay. I'm just gonna give this a press and see what happens. You really wanted to play Santa. Well, actually, I just about Santa once before already. Yeah, you did. That was Santa Gourd Lake. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk of being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a family to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes in a family's chimney, after all. Actually, it is worth telling whether playing Santa is a big deal. Yeah, it is. Actually, I believe that in this case of this man playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. I'm saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa quality stuff. What? What? Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean. Tell me something, Larry. You know that Santa's job is to deliver presents all over the world. Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me whom you're delivering a present to. I was, delivering a present to a child not basking in the glow of love. That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that. In any case, the person you wish to deliver on... Well, you were gonna give it... Why is... Ex-security lady? You're gonna give it to the Pink Princess, but seeing as it wasn't actually... Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag so much that I'm trying to go down a chimney. Ow! Why don't you just stop right there in your bashing of a lady? I must admit that I hardly myself here want to run into that lady. However, if you're misinformed and under the wrong impression, then what? Define a wrong impression. Somebody made a demand before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. That fact is the best summed up with this. That the old lady was a stand-in. There's something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The Illinois plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? Seems this man is quite taken with the theatrics. But that's not true, Edgy! What? She's the one with the hots for me! I just know it! I can feel her sexy beam bursting my heart when she's watching me! Sexy beam, I tell you! You felt that? This is what Larry does to me. It makes me almost die reading his lines. Him and his talk of sexy beams. Anyway. You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, and cowardly apparition of a man. You didn't return at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes? This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. Suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. What do you have to make if you have to be some sort of bad guy? Return to the original topic. I suppose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at all. We're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks like just what you do in court. I guess old boy still has something he'd like to say. Lindsay says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy and abandon wits. Larry, if you've forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest. Yeah, probably. Larry's a search. What do you got for me, Larry? So you think all I wanted to do was go out and visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed to the chimney. The smoke was really thick. In a case of a mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Top it all off, if you were suspected of murder. That's what you really meant. But why did I put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey! Someone say something! Are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession, but as testimony? So what if I am? There's something wrong with that? My claim is a claim claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's fully focused on one man and one man only. As long as any fool is alive, I can't drop him and be faithful. No, I can't. Although I was tutored by a living with that wolf man. My live for edgy poo. I'm so inspired. You're so inconsiderate, cowardly, and I can all rant to worthless man. That aired something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. But there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you still got something to prove. You've just shown something proof that I was trying to beat up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy, everything is evidence in court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry, but I understand your point. Yeah, see, I'm totally a pro at this now. Very well, you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Larry. Okay. Well... I think it's... Ow. I think it's the letter, but... I'm gonna press a little first. Well, I've been saying that for a while now. After all, not for that, what are the reasons that you wish to go down that chimney? You can't say that without any evidence. That's against the rules, Edgy. Thanks for keeping the prosecutor in line for me, Mr. Suspect. I have the evidence. You wish to see it that badly, I can introduce you to. But it's not going to keep them waiting, my subordinate. Hurry and show them already. Lies! All lies, Edgy! Well, if you wish to lie, then by all means continue. I'm ready to expose your lie at a moment's notice. You won't get the better of me. Now let's see. Is it just... I guess it's this statement, right? Okay. Yeah, you wanted to... drop in. Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey! What are you showing that thing to me? Why are you showing that thing to me? One day I'll be sitting on you from above tonight. Your loving night. Wasn't that just romantic? But you weren't able to descend on here from above, were you, Mr. Loving Night? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing. You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you are not out to meet this old lady, but rather that you're attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. A part of this letter shows the person was Mindy. The Weird Eye. Letter says you take up innocent lessons. If you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. Well, what the heck? What are you talking about? Speak in English. You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the other's eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There, isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. But that'll have to wait until we're off the crime scene. Eek! Edgy, save me from this scary man. Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again. It's a fake! Someone's out to get me, so they made it that fake letter. They set me up! Step your defeat gracefully. But you guys are being so mean. Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we know soon enough who was that's in this letter. I'll never write another thing in my life. It's no use, Mr. Loving Night. You've already graced providing me with a sample of your handwriting. Yeah, right here. This autograph in our mysterious letter. Compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our little question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right in the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the prank just being carried out in the stretcher and got worried, alright? I tried to go to Mindy's room, but doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be shocked when I came down through the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was another failure of conveying-sided sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Well, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. At the very least, I can test this about you. Edgy, we've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow! In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Lightbot sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I will still find it a bit unbelievable with the two of your friends. But the suspicion is on that guy over there. It isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? Ow! Hey, what? Edgy, What does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? He means it's the murder weapon. Nor did you forget, there are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We're not like rely on the word of a suspect, after all. They figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. But this blood-stained samurai sword was left at the crime scene. As long as there is no satisfactory explanation for that. This wolf refused to ease up on his bite. Edgy! That guy, he looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me! I'm well aware. You should be aware. Because this upcoming battle is crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler. I've been dealt with a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Because we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I'll easily point the contradiction out and expose the murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I can't afford to lose. Okay, why Larry? I was when I found the body of the victim. The mask, too. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and not burnt with the sin of blood. It was supposed to be in the samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder red's owner, the suspect, though he butts in here, too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? This owner wanted to sneak into the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you? If you're alluding to his reasons for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Hang on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You 2 are long-time friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence. I think I believe anything you produce. Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Come on, I can't even think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, you can agree, because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. There's hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. I mean, the only way I can prove Lloyd is innocent is to present irrefutable evidence. You found him in here? Or... Just because he is the owner of the weapon, therefore he must be the killer, is it? No, climbing all the way up the chimney is plenty suspicious in my book as well. Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out, and truth is one thing I don't bet. Doesn't matter if it's you or whoever, you prosecutors are all the same. As for me, prosecutors are the one thing I don't trust in. Nathan doesn't trust prosecutors, what are you playing at? Sorry, sis. But there are 2 things I trust, my subordinates and evidence at the crime scene. Nathan hates prosecutors, but as long as he trusts evidence has been left at a crime scene, there is something I can show him that he believes in. Okay. It's not possible to steal a murder weapon. Prove that point first. Okay, very well. It was not the murder weapon because it's a prop. It's a prop. No. Do we have to press it? Or was that just wrong? I don't know.
Hold it.
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering the sin of blood. Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. According to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword is made only to be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it's pretty weighty. Certainly heavy enough to beat someone up with the death with. Which means you suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This statement is too important to just let slip by. Okay. What's the problem here? The fact that this bent, right? Is it? There we go. I was just a little early. Do you know what this is, Agent Ling? It's a long spear, right? We used to use this a lot in my country a long time ago. piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. Next was a offensive weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category, but... So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The weight's bent. Precisely. Apparently, a certain truck may hit against a wall in this embassy earlier. You can clearly see the inside of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, the replicas are not strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. Yet there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Oh yeah, that's the sword and spear made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd make them better stuff. Because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer raid jab move. I almost got an earful of the director of the play for not doing it in the show. Bill Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. Yep. Ouch! That's more than enough out of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on topic of the spear. Let's turn to the real topic of the discussion. These are the real game brookings. I don't have a real strategy, per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of the logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I'm not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. Perhaps it's for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's a job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory. That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that that's all we are. As prosecutor, what I perceive is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. That means the bridge I must cross will come underneath my feet, and let it crumble as I walk towards the truth. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor, but you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that sword isn't used in such a way to protect shield the mass too without bending it. What do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, and what you need. Of course, what I need is evidence even the Line can't refute. This is it. Time to bring this to a close. Why Larry Part 2. Supposed to use a samurai sword to kill someone. Under the circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We search the embassy, top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it natural that the suspicion would fall into the owner of said weapon? How long do you tend to cling to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner of the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we left unturned. We've managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. Another place inside the embassy with the victim's blood on this sword. You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact? If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, let me make it all crystal clear for you. Are you sure, though? Only place where you could find blood is a samurai sword. That's right, even with Umanal. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of whatever you've outlined. Fair problem with Edgeworth assertion. Yeah, we do. I do. You believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open. Then allow me to force one open for you. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may be possibly the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon, I hate to repeat myself. My men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. They've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing the facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men expected everything in their investigation. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games. I don't appreciate when people like you slander my men. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigation dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, there is something your men couldn't have even lay a finger on. That item is the real Warner weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This mule Warner that killed Damask too. What exactly is it? The real weapon with not even a single person yet to touch is this. It is the statue. The national treasure of Alabest. You mean the Permadeus statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretary let me touch it. Which I believe means that neither of you nor your men are able to examine it, correct? You know very well that we did that. There'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabest and the Republic of Babali. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in balance over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lane, if you could take a look at this, the direction of the statue is facing before and after the crime are different. It's only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba. Get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He's most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please let's be rational about this. Lingzi says... Just go already! Yes, sir. Shifu... Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was able to obtain permission for us to examine the Permadeus statue. I see. Wait, but then the investigation's at a standstill. Then I'll go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He may act all weak and fair, but that old man is one tough cookie. Guess you forgot to be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know? Agent Ling, what do you want? Let us hurry up and examine the statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet! I'll take the fall if I have to later. Agent Ling, the hypothesis is mine, so if you want to take that responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we want to talk such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, let's talk and more investigating. We know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Ling, I'd like to run a luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. Luminol test. Ah, good thinking. The statue is the murder weapon, and some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here. Hey! Heh, looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. This doesn't mean that this is the real murder weapon that killed Mask too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate it yet if I were you. It doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill the Mask too, so the charge remains. We're hardly done examining the statue, Agent Ling. Knowing that it is the real murder weapon, I believe further examination is required. Heh, you think so? Okay, then knock yourself out. On close inspection, he really does look a lot like the Steel Samurai. Maybe that's why they chose him to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I actually can't discredit that hypothesis. Maybe the people in the city just really like the Steel Samurai. That's absolutely preposterous. I don't think it's that unlikely. He doesn't go around announcing people's opinions. Yet look at how easily he discredited mine, now that they care to choose him. He's a shield on his back. There's a shield on his back. I wonder if that's supposed to mean that his back is covered. Lingzi says, those are the shield on their back to deflect all enemies from behind them. Neither is ready for any blindside attacks that may come his way. Agent Lang, there's no need to attach over the complex meaning, it's just a simple thing. Heh, he didn't seem to get things he's saying, so I was just explaining it to him. Learning itself was what I was referring to when I said over in the complex, you know. Oh. There's a handprint on the bottom. What do we have here? This dirty smudge. It looks like a handprint. We'll just think the better evidence like you're doing under here. Maybe if we got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. Maybe it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy, I want results on these fingerprints ASAP. Do you hear me? Agent Ring, I owe the results, sir. Good, and... Sir, about the prints we've lifted from the bottom of the statue? Well, you're the victim of the murder in the Bubbly's embassy. The prints belong to him, Mr. Randy Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's... impossible. Each Prometheus statue can only be handled by one of that country. But the very fact that Mr. Coach fingerprints are on this one leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Bubbly's Prometheus statue. It's possible, it could be. Larry never once set foot on the Bubbly's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only serves to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with the Alabastia knife in Babali, and Damas too was killed in Albastian soil with the Babali's national treasure. And mysteriously the great thief Agrazio visited both countries. Pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. My, this is a bigger mess than I ever thought it would be. How are all of these things being transferred from one embassy to the next? What is even happening? Okay. Alright. Next time when we come back, we'll clear all of this up, because there's knives moving places, there's statues moving places, there's possibly a murderer killing someone and then being murdered himself. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, until next time.